Is anybody even paying attention to me?
Welcome to KritzKast. It's the Highlander Nations Cup number 9. I mean, we've got a new kind of format this season where teams are more equally matched between teams of kind of similar skills. So even in these group stages, probably get some good matches. So these are, with Group B, these are probably the second kind of tier nations, but they've definitely got some dangerous players and probably some players that even you're familiar with.
Yeah, I definitely recognize a few of the names on here, even if I'm not super familiar with the European kind of best players. I like, there are players like Hanjo, for example. I've, like pretty much everyone's heard of players like that just like have such an impact on the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Some big names, like, as you say, Hanjo dealt. Some returning faces as well. I don't think we've seen Cosmetical for a couple of seasons. He's been an up-and-coming player. I don't even think we've seen Hanjo, like, particularly recently. So it's always good to see this talent come back into the game. But we are just about starting to get going here. On Upward, it is going to be Netherlands starting off in the blue on the offense. And it is Czech Republic are going to be the team starting off defending.
See the high bomb immediately coming in from Hanjo, going all the way behind, actually lands all the way on the cliff kit, and I think they're going to send the scout back to try to chase. In the meantime, though, looks like they're just going to be working their sniper for the side of the Netherlands, maybe trying to get a pick or something. Hanjo is going to get the teleporter behind.
Yeah, fully going behind, just spawn camping, getting rid of the teleporter, as you say. So anyone dies is going to be more important for the defensive kind of thing. Yak just going to take the trade quite aggressively into the enemy team, but he does go down to the sentry gun and heavy combination. A few players have been lost. They have got the sniper here, though, the Netherlands, so that is a pick they can potentially work with, but their medics are going to have to evacuate out of there. No combo members left alive to keep them there. The Pyro Sky is going to come back and rotate, but they're going to have to wait on a couple of spawns.
See, Emil just barely gets caught from the flares there. Looks like Netherlands want to try to just push this back in, especially while the spawns are going to be late to the side of Czech Republic. You can see a lot of damage coming in. Hanjo going to be jumping up to playground. Meanwhile, Mr. Whale going to be trying to walk up on the platform side. They're going to be trying to take more space on playground. Skyro walking in a little bit, taking a lot of damage. Salty is going to get picked off. Hanjo actually dies as well from Neko mode. And it looks like Czech Republic is just going to have to back up here, taking a lot of damage, losing their demo. Just safest play to just back up there. I think that's the right play for sure.
Yeah, they were playing very, very passive. Just everyone trying to hide from that sniper sight line, but meant they lost a lot of space. Actually, pressing in from the tunnel now are going to be the Netherlands team. We're going to see Skyro launch onto the side of the cliff, 1 HP. Takes a little bit longer to die than perhaps he could have. Yak is now trying to approach from the side tunnel area. So much spam coming in towards him, but is going to just try and take Mr. Whale in, but it's going to be a bit of a tragic Uber trade. Yak is going to do his best, jumping in now, launching himself high up in the air. There is a sentry gun, but he's going to land on top of the Scout K-Hub and will eventually actually get himself out of there. Jurkas comes in to try and go for a pick. Just get one onto Cosmetical, but a lot of space has been taken by the Netherlands here.
For sure. We see Netherlands are just trying to kind of work this high ground on the corner. A lot of actually kills coming in with Czech Republic being down a couple players now, and they're going to be forced to back up to third point, as Netherlands are looking pretty good with 2 minutes 20 on the first 2 points.
As always, an Upward. There is just a little brief intermission here while the teams push this car. Actually, Netherlands are doing their best to really make sure there's not too much downtime, trying to get their players into position. Cosmetical is going to get launched off. It's going to be Zake getting the kill credit there, the engineer. There's explosions happening in front of this drop-down area, but it looks like mostly the Czechs are surviving throughout it, are keeping themselves alive, are keeping their defense going. Got a nice little snipe onto Yak on top of the car. Uber is now out for the Netherlands. Going to be counter-traded here, and Czechs having the opportunity to chase really, really deep onto this medic, and he's going to get taken out by K-Hub. Syken's going down. That is exactly what the Czechs want, and now they're going to be able to stabilize very nicely on this third point.
Absolutely, especially getting their leveled gun set up and just getting all their spawns, making sure every player is buffed. And now with, excuse me, with slight advantage here with the Ubers, I think that they're in really good shape. So long as they can just make sure that Cart doesn't get up too far, it's going to be really tough, especially for dry pushing on this point, unless Netherlands can somehow find a way to get some picks here.
Seems like Second's got a decent spawn, so it's not going to be the largest super advantage in the world for the defense. It's always a little bit risky, you know, opportunity for a bit of a dry push coming in. Yak doing his best to just play from this tracks area and put some spam down, but he is going to be countered quite heavily by Cole as well, the captain for the Czech team. Now the car is being moved. There's an engineer and a scout, the two classes you would typically see on top of this car. Not too much to dissuade them just about now. There is a sniper they might have to deal with, but they can just hide behind the car as Skyru is doing right now. They are making very, very good progress here.
See, Skyro actually gets the cart pretty close, but is going to have the force to knock them off. But here comes the Uber back in from Netherlands now, as they're walking very forward on this. Yak getting a ton of sticks down, just not going to be quite enough as the banner comes in from the side of Czech Republic, but is not going to be enough to stop the cart as Netherlands caps it up.
Yeah, very impressive cart time from the Netherlands. Didn't really conclusively win a fight there. Didn't really conclusively get any progress, you know, in towards the drop-down area through the banana area or anything. Even, you know, having a later Uber, it didn't work out perfectly for them. But the crucial thing was they always had players on the cart. They were always moving it, and that was enough to pressure the Czechs back. And now they've forced them back all the way to sport on this last point. But this one can be a tough nut to crack.
For sure, and I do just want to commend Netherlands there. I think something that a lot of Highlander teams struggle to do is knowing how to get cart time during Ubers, and especially when it's an Uber advantage that the other team can't really contest. And that was a great job from Netherlands of recognizing that in the moment and taking advantage of it. As we see Netherlands now here working up to tiles, trying to just take a little space, maybe work their sniper in. We see Emil on the low ground, seeing if they can get by the dispenser. Not going to be able to get it though. And now Cosmetical actually gets a great shot into Kamikaze. And maybe this is enough as Uber comes out here for Yak. Yak actually almost walking off the cliff there. Going to be jumping back out now. Actually jumping into the balcony. Gets the kill into Nico mode. Does a lot of damage to the sentry. Is actually going to kill it as well and live up top. Yak is just going to be chilling up there. Oh, what a reflect from the
huge reflect.
That was insane.
Yeah, not too many players alive now. Doe's going to have to launch himself into the combo. There's a mini sentry he has to deal with. There's a scout and an engineer on top of the cart. Sorry, a spy and an engineer on top of the cart. Scout runs onto it now. And it is just not enough defenders for Czechs to keep it alive. And at the end of the day, Netherlands end up with 5:58, which is a pretty solid time, I have to say.
Really solid time for sure. Especially on Upward, it can be very easy to get locked on a certain point. But it seems like with Netherlands, they were able to push each point pretty consistently. Maybe a few hiccups here and there on, like, third, for example. But it wasn't too much that it really slowed down their time too much. And being under 6 minutes on Upward is always a positive, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly a good time. Not, you know, not unbeatable by any stretch of the imagination, but not too much room for the Czechs here to make too many mistakes. They can't be held up too long on any of the points here. Yeah, if there is a point they really kind of struggle, you know, hit their head against the wall a few times, then that 6 minutes or just under 6 minute timer becomes very, very tough.
Absolutely. I want to see how Czech wants to approach this as opposed to how Netherlands did. With, I know a lot of teams like to send in like a sack, or some teams, you know, prefer to like have like soldier or spy, or I've even seen like scout with bonk atomic punch going behind. So I'm curious to see what Czech kind of wants to pull out here, as I think it's honestly kind of up for interpretation of what is defined as the best play to do here on first, especially while you're getting the cart up the initial gap here.
Yeah, well, actually, crits are going to be their option to go in to make the play. They are going to go, you know, just the one pick cosmetical. Actually, Yak going down as well. That is really good news. Those are possibly the two most important classes in Highlander, and the two classes you definitely want to pick early on. So no sniper, no demo for the defense. Just trying to pressure up here. Czechs get their players onto this high ground position, get their sniper hitting some shots, and at the moment it's backs against the wall. Netherlands doing their best just to hold on for those spawns. Yak is up now. There's still a teleporter ready to go, but the Uber is going to be out for the defense here, but they're not going to find too much with it, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be forced to back out here. They just don't have the players for it, especially with the great playground pressure from the side of Czech Republic. Def and Kelyub did a great job of pressuring out Mr. Whale there, and that just got so much space for them to take control of playground and kind of just have that high ground. And now Czech Republic are going very fast, actually, and be already peeking on the balcony near red spawn. and all they have to do is worry about card time right now.
Absolutely. One saving grace for the Netherlands was Emil just stealing in, getting that nice little stab onto the medic. Mittelicious, I'm going to say. Certainly some difficult names on the Czech side, but that is no different. Oh, out again with a crazy reflect, taking out his counterpart, Skyro, just launching himself in and making an absolute mess of things in the positive for his team. Snipes are coming out, though, from Cosmetical, doing his best just to try and hold on. Hits another headshot onto someone towards the car, and it's to the medic, Emil, getting that pick again. And I mean, it hasn't really slowed the Czechs down as much. Ideally, you don't want your medic going down in these, these kind of transition scenarios. But so far, they've been able to get enough pressure off the back of their offense that it hasn't slowed them down at all.
For sure, and I guess for Czech Republic here, the one positive is that you kind of have to work cart time a little bit here, so you have time to build the Uber at least a little bit. But obviously, if Netherlands wants to play this aggressive, they can take the ad Uber in, see how they want to play this. Obviously, it is going to be risky here. Emil actually is going to kill Kamikaze there, and now, Cole is going to go down as well, and I don't know if Czech Republic really has the numbers for this anymore, especially with Uber dishead.
Yeah, as Emil's stealing in and getting another pick onto Nico mode as well, so using a few players here and there, Czechs are being just nudged slowly, and someone else who's been nudged is going to be the Scout Co-op off the cliff. But oh my god, the Quickie Bombs takes out Skyro, takes out the Medic Psychons. They were not prepared for that. They were not expecting those Quickie Bomb crits coming in, and it was absolutely devastating. They're just doing their best to clean up a few players. Actually, Mr. Wales still in an awkward spot here. It's been encircled by players now. Doesn't get any really decisive pick there. But it is going to be Netherlands evacuating to this last point, and Czechs with a really nice momentum here and a big crits advantage.
Absolutely. I mean, if there's ever a point that you can hold for that last 2 minutes or so, this would be the point to do it. But especially with crits can be very scary on this point with how clumped up people get.
Absolutely. It is. I mean, you need to get an angle. That is the big thing. They're thinking exactly where to take a move. It's going to be lower. The crits are going to come in with the Quickie Bomb. Yak and Cosmetical both get deleted immediately. Crits just being fired in towards that Centrica. Not going to do the triple damage, but is going to be effective nonetheless. Emil dropping down with another stab onto Nico mode. He has had no opportunity with Emil just on his tail the whole time. But look how close the car is. Another reflect kill from Delt. What's that? 3 for the round, and that's going to be Czechs taking this first round.
Yeah, I think both teams were kind of trying to use a momentum-based approach of, especially when they're able to wipe a team on one point, they just try to take it in immediately to the next. But I think Czech Republic just did such a great job in particular of really capitalizing on making sure it was just even faster than what Netherlands was able to do. And I think that was able to give them a slight edge, and especially with the crits in exchanges and just building faster.
We are going to go into another round here, and it's going to be once more. The Czechs are going to be on the offense again. So we'll see if they continue to stick with this Kritzkrieg, if there is going to be an adaptation either from them or from the Netherlands. Are they going to work out how to do it? Because typically we think of crits as being more impactful if you have that surprise factor. So as the game goes on, as long as your team is competent at dealing with it, there's a reason why it's not used here 90-95% of the time, but it can be impactful. So far it's been very, very impactful for the Czechs.
For sure. I've had games where teams try to run crits on me, and our sniper will just instantly kill the demo man, and then it's entirely shut down, and now you're full Uber disad. But then obviously you get other games like that one where you get a crits that gets 3 or 4 kills, and it's just an absolute momentum shift.
Yeah, absolutely. So many classes on Highlander that are there to counter the crits, whether it's the Pyro, whether it's the Engineer, but the crits is out from Cole, hasn't found too much just yet, just firing a couple of stickies here and there, a few pipes here and there, but not going to find too much from it. At the end of the day, as long as they play passive, as long as they don't allow this Netherlands Uber deep onto them, they should be alright. They can build this crits up once more, but actually with Cole going down, getting 1v1 by Yak, they might have to just back up a little bit here and play a little bit more cautious.
For sure. The 1+, they were able to kill the sentry gun with, I think it was Jerkus getting a nice kill onto Tie Whip, and it was on a decloak. But now they do have the level 1 back up, and only at about 70% crits now for the side of Czech Republic. They're going to have to walk back in and see if they can get something else on the second try here.
Yeah, been building it pretty decently, and now another opportunity potentially just building up a little bit more with the help of those stickies. And now Kritz is out from Cult, but there's going to be met with a counter Uber immediately. Players are going to try and get deep, but actually Cult finds Cosmetical throughout all of it. They kited the Uber pretty decently as well, just losing Kamikaze, and now with a sniper pick, maybe something to work with here for Czechs.
Sure, the banner is going to come out for Netherlands, so at the very least, if they want to leave this, they have the opportunity to do so with the extra damage resistance. But I don't know if they're really going to be able to do it in time. It looks like they want to try to hold it, and they do have a potential opportunity to with a lot of damage coming out. But we see the soldier from Czech Republic that's going to be trying to jump into the playground. It isn't going to be enough. They are actually going to be able to kill Lord Sykens. And here comes the decloak. Emil tries to get a stab, doesn't get anything. And now Czech Republic with a solid 1 minute 54 seconds on the first point.
Yeah, they wanted to stay in there, the Netherlands, but they were just losing it was just an uphill battle once Yak had got stabbed. Actually, the crit's coming out once more. Yak, Skyro, Mr. Whale, all taken out. Sykens is going to evacuate. No team left. Absolute evisceration with that crits from Cole. And second is basically not a point anymore for the Netherlands. They're still going to get potentially a couple of spawns up on here, but I don't think we're going to see too much resistance.
Yeah, there's not much they can do at that point. When you lose like 3 people to 1 crits, like there's only so much you can do at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news is they did get Sykens out of there. He hadn't built up very much Uber. I think he was disconnected quite a while, so there's still going to be a bit of a crit sad here for the Czechs to work with. I don't know if Netherlands will be completely on top of the fact of just where the Ubers are. There's going to be a small advantage to work with, so that could be pretty awkward for them at the moment. At the moment, it's just a kind of spam fight across the cart. Emil doing his best to try and go for a play, but Kritz is imminent here.
Delt tries to chase for the spy and accidentally jumps off.
Yeah, Kritz is out, but Uber was just about up in time for Sykens, and especially for Yak, keeping him alive as those crits were coming into his face. And now, I mean, they didn't get any picks once more with the counter Uber, and they've lost a few players here. Honjo doing his best, but actually a beautiful pipe from Cole. He's up to an 8-kill streak as well. Yak just launched himself in, making a play. That is a nice little bomb from Yak, just landing perfectly on the medic. Great game sense from him, knew exactly what he had to do. Knew that his team was going to have to leave the point regardless, but making sure that Kritz is not going to be in the equation for another 40 seconds or so.
Sure, what a clutch play from Yak, just, recognizing the situation and just saying, hey, we gotta, kill this medic, give us a little bit of advantage here so we don't get rolled even more, and just able to clutch up there and hit the shot.
Yeah, I'm seeing Sykens only 10%. I wasn't exactly sure of whether he died, whether he had to run back to spawn, whether he got a bad spawn. I don't know exactly what happened. But either way, it's going to be quite a considerable advantage for the Czech medic Metalicious. Either way, with that crit streak as well, it's going to be slightly faster as well than the Uber, so should have a decent window for them to work with here. If they can get any kind of position, at the moment it's a bit of a struggle. Honjo doing his best to deny them, but finally they get some position up on this tiles area.
Yeah, I think especially just being able to work Nico mode in the tiles area, taking the SVS, and even it looks like Nico mode just hard scoping on the balcony, shoots Mr. Whale. Actually, he gets killed by Kamikaze, as now Czech Republic are taking a lot of space on the cart, doing a very good flood. Honjo tries to bomb in, gets immediately denied. Kamikaze just getting so much damage, they're going to have to use the Uber here from the side of Netherlands to try to stop the cart. It might not even be enough though with Delt doing so much damage. The cart is actually going to roll backslide a bit. It is so close, and Def looks like he's going to finish off. That is the cart in with 5 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah, good time once again. Even better than the Netherlands managed on that first round. So, impressive stuff from the Czechs, just really making that crit streak work at every opportunity. I mean, even when they weren't getting the frags, the crucial thing was they were taking the space. They were forcing the Netherlands back. They were forcing Uber out as well in awkward scenarios. And crucially, they were never getting wipes as well. Even if, the crits wasn't always super impactful, they were always getting a winning situation off the back of it.
Absolutely, and I think if you're the side of Netherlands here, you just kind of have to learn, especially, I guess we'll see how Czech Republic wants to play it. Obviously, now they're going to be on defense. Crits might not be as much of a factor anymore, presuming they're just going to be running Uber here. But maybe Netherlands wants to take a page out of Czech Republic's book and go crits themselves. We'll see how they approach this. But again, I think one of the things I like about Upward, and really this point, but just the map in general, is that there's so many different ways to approach it in terms of how you want to do it offensively. Some teams play very momentum-based. Some teams play very just like slow to just get the kills and win it based off of that. But I think, just with how many different approaches there are, I'm really curious to see what Netherlands wants to do here for their offense.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Yak is probably the main caller for this team, and we see typically how he's been playing in Prem the last few seasons. He's playing, very, very aggressive and very early on with the Uber trade. So it's kind of what we saw in that first round as well from the Netherlands offense. So I'm expecting some kind of early trade here.
Sure, see, Emil goes down immediately. Nikomod gets the shot onto Skyro. The Uber comes out here. Hondra actually going to be going down as well. Netherlands losing 3 in the Uber. It's not going to be looking too good for them. Mr. Whale trying to clutch up, getting a bit of damage, but is going to get taken down again by Nikomod with his second kill on the round. And now Netherlands has to regroup in the post-Uber, see if they can maybe start to work a pick. See Emil trying to get behind. Cosmetical is going to get the pick onto Nikomod, so it's going to definitely be a good start for them. Here comes the bomb from Hanjo trying to get control of the playground. Tywip is actually going to get the kill onto Jerkus, and now their execution coming in from Netherlands, and Czech Republic is forced to back out. I think it's actually a very good back out from Netherlands, considering that they recognized very early that they were down players. But now Netherlands is going to be trying to take the momentum on hill here.
Yeah, doing the best. Honjo is jumping in, and Kamikaze has been sold out by the rest of his team. Everyone else has had to leave. They knew they didn't really have the players, and they certainly didn't have the health to, take control of that hill. They did their best to stay in there. I mean, they bought a little bit of time, lost their heavy for it. Not going to get any real position as well on this second point. Not even, playing this kind of pub spot that is, it's often fraught with danger, but they're not even really going to make an attempt to it. A couple of players are just posturing out from the tracks area. You've got Cole ready to go. You've got the medic quite low as well. He's thinking better of taking this fight. Uber is out onto Yak, launched himself miles up in the air, just trying to land that hero pipe. Can't quite find it this time. And that is probably going to allow the Czechs to save blows.
They're going to catch Lord Sykens. Excuse me for literally cutting you off as I said that, but being able to catch the med there, that is going to be a big advantage for Czech Republic now. As with the Uber advantage, they're actually holding as if like they want to be on this balcony. Maybe they might even rig us on the hill here to see how they want to fight this. But with full ad here, this is going to be very advantageous for Czech Republic.
Yeah, they just did their best Czechs to stay in, but that's a nice snipe from Cosmetical, taking out the Demo Man before he can get anything. They wanted to take the Aggressive Weaver, Demo, and Scout, but it is basically going to be a solo. Don't launch himself in, but does get himself caught ahead of the rest of his team. It's looking very, very ropey. Vitalicious, the medic, just about escapes to the dispenser. And I believe Sandwich as well, just about in time before Emil could finish him off. Continuing to fight the high ground from Mr. Wales, just going to put pressure, some damage down, but actually he's going to lose it. It's going to be Kamikaze doing a lot of work to clear out this window area, and Kalehab just doing his best to run around, be that new annoying little scout around the car, and at the moment the defense is holding.
For sure, I think Netherlands are just a little bit disjointed with when they're taking their aggression. But now that they do have all their players, that looks like they might be a little more together as Yak is pressuring while the cart is going up. Cart gets very close and it's going to get capped here. Great job from Czech Republic for recognizing the Uber Deset now and kiting out in plenty of time. You see Yak trying to bomb in, go for another revenge play, or salvage play rather, but isn't going to get anything. We do see actually Cosmetical is going to get the kill onto Kamikaze, and with Jerkus going to be down as well, not being able to calm where Netherlands is approaching from. There is a bit of chance for momentum here.
Perhaps Netherlands at the moment walking in a little bit one by one, just everyone trying to make some hero plays. Actually, Uber is coming out from red here. I'm not sure it was exactly necessary. They're trying to make a play onto Sykens, but he's going to be able to evacuate out of there to relative safety, swivel himself round onto this main area. Now they've got the Demo Yak launch himself in once more. Sees an engineered double pipe onto him, gonna delete him and his sentry gun in tow as well. So with just over a minute here to work with not much time, Netherlands are going to do their best. The spawn camp coming in from Yak now launching himself in towards that spawn area, but there is a soldier waiting for him, and now with Yak and Mr. Whale going down, maybe an opportunity for Czechs to push out. Although...
Skyro kills the medic.
Oh my god, Skyro in the spawn, burning down that medic in that spawn area. absolute disaster for the Czechs. Opportunity now for the Netherlands. They have a full Uber advantage coming in from under here. Gray.
Here comes the Uber. We're going to see them try and just do damage. They're going to be getting into the spawn. That is their main focus here, is trying to just shut down the spawns while they get the 3x on cart. A lot of damage coming in. Ooh, the black box is going to be coming in from Def. Gets a lot of damage, and that is now only 3 up. Def again gets another kill. What a great play from Def, playing in the clock room area. Now gets the battalions, and there's not much that Netherlands can do anymore. Def with I think that was a solid 3k, 4k, or even 5k, getting so much damage with that black box. And of course, with that damage comes that survivability, and Def is able to win the round for Czech Republic.
Yeah, absolutely huge hero play. I thought it was all over for the Czechs. Everyone was pinned back and spawned. There was Uber players in their faces. No one could leave. But crucially, they had that one class exactly where you want them. That soldier up in the tiles area, just paying down important rockets down onto that car, getting all that health back from the black box as well. Just cleaning up the car at the prime opportunity as it just exposed itself there. And just a beautiful little defense and an absolute clutch play for what was a rough looking situation for the Czechs, but their soldier clutches it out and they do take a second round to win this fixture in a clean 2-0.
Absolutely, it was so impressive for Czech Republic, just how they're able to use that momentum, especially both for defense and offense as well, that just little plays were able to make such a difference in how they were conducting themselves and working together as a team.
But aside from that, I want to thank Wiethoofd. I want to thank you, Gray, here tonight, and thank you, players and audience as well. It's been a great fun action, and we'll see you next time.